Welcome back to this week's episode of Elite Level Journalism. We've got some wild stories coming out of Thailand this week. It appears the walls are closing in on the former Royal Thai police chief and over 200 other officers found guilty of taking bribes. 3 Japanese men harass a Pattaya hairdresser. And yet again, we've got another Western tourist cruising the streets buck naked, but this time in Pattaya. Grab a coffee, grab a snack or two, and let's get ready to laugh at some other people's expense. How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. As always, you know how we do it here on Tempus TV, nothing but high-level elite journalism. I've spent the last few days scouring the internet to find what I consider the most crazy stories coming out of Thailand. Currently, there are some lessons to be learned. There are some more lessons to be learned about exactly what not to do in Thailand. We've also got some insight into some other things that if you spent time in Thailand, you will understand, but it seems like that is changing soon. So let's hop right into our first story. Coming to us via The Tiger, former RTP chief, RTP stands for Royal Thai Police, and 200 officers found guilty of taking bribes from gambling sites. Retired leader may escape major punishment while junior officers potentially face career-ending penalties. After more than 7 months of investigation, the Police Complaint Review Committee reported that the former commissioner of the Royal Thai Police and 200 officers were found guilty of accepting bribes from online gambling websites.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Renowned lawyer Sita Biabankard first brought the allegations to light, accusing former RTP Commissioner Torsak Big Tor Sukvimol and hundreds of police officers of receiving illicit payments from gambling sites and other illegal businesses. In March of last year, Sita held a press conference where he presented evidence allegedly linking the officers to corruption. He claimed the group operated a network of mule accounts to collect and distribute bribes. The lawyer said some of these accounts remain active even after the account holders had passed away, suggesting a coordinated effort to conceal the money trail. Sita also revealed money transfer receipts, chat messages, and other related evidence, asserting that officers were required to report the amounts of bribes they collected each month to the cyber police headquarters. Now, if you don't know, gambling is very illegal in Thailand. Honestly, some things in Thailand that are against the law, you might be a little surprised or being like, what the hell? Because you'll be cruising around and you'll see them all over the place. A big one is paid for companionship. That's actually illegal in Thailand, but if you walk down some certain streets, it sure wouldn't seem that way. But gambling is one of the ones they do crack down. We've covered a few stories on this channel talking about these illegal casinos and stuff getting busted. Another aspect of life in Thailand, we actually talked about it a bit in the last video. If you haven't yet, hop back, watch that bad boy. You know, sometimes with certain things, maybe if you're getting stopped, you're getting a traffic ticket or something like that. Let's just say sometimes you can pay the ticket on the spot and not have to go down to the police station. That is a reality of being in Thailand, but especially over the past year or so, I have been seeing more and more stories like this where officers are getting ousted from their colleagues or, you know, other investigations from other bureaus that try to stop that from happening. I think this is a good thing for the most part. If we want to talk about whether, you know, gambling being illegal is a good thing, that's a whole other conversation. Man, I ordered a iced cappuccino from 7-Eleven. I'm pretty sure this is a iced Americano, aka just a whole cup of espresso. So if I start talking faster and faster by the end of the video, you know why. Let's hop to our next story though. I think there's a certain group of travelers that when they're coming to Thailand, you know, with the narrative that is out there sometimes about how, oh, you know, Thailand's, you know, just parties and working girls. What ends up happening when people buy into that is some real scumbags just cruise around and think that, you know, every girl in Thailand is fair game. I hope I don't have to tell you that that's absolutely not true. Don't be a dirtbag, but I'm not too worried about you. I know we have the best, you know, most gentlemanly viewership here, but our next story also coming to us from The Tiger. 3 Japanese men harassed Pattaya hairdresser lifting her skirt during service. A Thai hairdresser filed a complaint against 3 Japanese men for lifting her skirt while she was providing a service to their friend at a salon in Pattaya. The victim, 34-year-old Kanakan, shared CCTV footage of the incident on social media. She revealed that the incident occurred at 1:58 p.m. on Sunday, October 9th at her hair salon on Soy Pattaya 13-2.
No, Don't like that.
The footage showed Kanakarn cutting the hair of one of the Japanese men while his 3 friends sat behind her, talking and laughing. The men were seen pointing towards her skirt before 2 of them suddenly reached out to touch it and lift it. Kanakarn immediately turned on them and ordered them to stop. However, the men showed no sign of guilt or remorse. In an interview with Channel 7, Kanakarn said that all 4 men appeared to be under the influence of alcohol and continued drinking inside the salon while she was cutting their friend's hair. So I did read around a bit more, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they were able to find out who these guys were to hold them accountable. There is a video out there of this. I'm not gonna put it in here just because, you know, out of respect to the hairdresser lady, but I did watch it and these guys absolutely had no shame. They're sitting there giggling and laughing. Apparently before this happened, there was another transgender client in there that they were pointing and laughing. So these guys just sound like complete tools. Lady, every time she sees Japanese tourists from now on, she's probably gonna think about it a particular type of way. So be a good dude, be a gentleman, be a nice guy, goes a long way. Fact. So this next story is honestly like one of my worst nightmares. Now, I've had quite a few girlfriends over the years, whether you believe that or not. Luckily, I've been very blessed. You know, out of maybe 5 or 6 girlfriends, I've only had 1, maybe 2 that were a bit off their rocker. Now, with that said, I have had a couple that threatened to do something like this after I said I didn't want to be with them anymore. This is an absolutely wild story coming to us from the Tiger as well. Pattaya woman slashes her own throat after argument with foreign boyfriend. CCTV shows tense dispute escalating before violent act at a crowded bar. A Thai woman slashed her own throat at a bar in Pattaya yesterday, October 19th, following an argument with her foreign boyfriend. The self-harm incident was reported to rescuers from the Sawang Borabun Damastan Foundation at 1:36 a.m., prompting the team to rush to a bar on Soi Pattaya Beach 13-2, Nong Pru Sub-District. Upon arrival, they found the 35-year-old injured woman, identified only as Natty, bleeding heavily from a deep cut to her neck. Rescuers administered first aid before quickly transporting her to a nearby hospital. The incident reportedly caused a panic among others at the bar. Yeah, I would imagine so. A witness, 24-year-old Moon Sen, told officers that she saw the woman drinking with her foreign boyfriend and that the pair appeared to be arguing constantly. When the boyfriend walked away, the woman allegedly pulled out a pocket knife and slashed her own throat. So there was no update in this article, as well as a few others, what this lady's status is, but it did seem from what I can gather that the rescuers were able to help her out and get her to the hospital. So hopefully she's fine. I have for sure been in some situations where, breakups absolutely suck. I hope she ends up being all right. I did check out this CCTV footage as well. You can't really see too much. It seems like the boyfriend, they were arguing back and forth. She was yelling at him, he was yelling at her, and then he left, and this is what happened. So don't ignore the red flags. It's kind of me talking to myself here. The red flags are not pink, no matter how pretty she is, how funny. Just, be realistic, guys. Oh, Jesus. The stuff of my nightmares, I'm not intimidated by the vast majority of animals, but I do not mess with snakes. Coming to us from the Thai Examiner, 29-year-old Samut Prakan man died on the phone to grandma after a bite from a cobra that entered his home. A 39-year-old man died in Samut Prakan near Bangkok on Thursday morning after a fatal cobra bite. Mr. Mai managed to call his 74-year-old grandmother as venom drained his life. He asked if she loved him and she replied, and he became incoherent and slipped into unconsciousness. His grandmother sent family to check on him. Rescue workers found a dangerous cobra in the cluttered apartment, and Mr. Mai could not be revived. Police treated the incident as an accident, saying the cobra had gained access to the second floor apartment before killing him. That they did check everything out at the hospital, and it is looking like this is what happened. Man, his poor grandma. Like, I understand, feeling like you're on your way out and want to talk to the people you love and that love you, but man, I can't imagine how rough that was for his poor grandma. But there is a lesson to be learned here, guys. Especially if you're coming from America. In all reality, compared to most places in the world, in America, you don't really got to worry about too many critters. Thailand, Southeast Asia in general, the jungle, there is a whole lot of stuff here that you don't want to play games with. I've seen multiple videos online of foreigners, especially out in like Isan, out in the boonies. They catch snakes and then ask online like, hey, is this snake dangerous? Dude, once again, I know you guys aren't dumb. I hope I don't have to tell you, don't pick up a snake and then try to figure out what it is later. Be careful out there, guys. Just remember, Thailand, lots of things that will make you not have a good day. And now moving right along, are we seeing a trend yet? If you watched our, news update a couple weeks ago, this story may seem awfully familiar, just in a different setting. Hold on, let me close all these ads. I don't know what it is with news sites. The pop-up ads are awful. But anyways, Western foreigner buck naked in the red light area of Pattaya cries out to God as locals react with shock on their commute. A crazed foreigner caused chaos in Pattaya's red light district on Monday morning. The light-skinned man, what is that their way of saying he's white? They already said, all right, whatever, was seen walking naked and shouting to God. Shocked locals known for their conservative values called police immediately. Yeah, I'm not too surprised by that. Officers quickly restrained him and took him to the hospital. Pattaya police are investigating what intoxicant triggered his madness, which will determine the extent and nature of whether criminal charges he faces. At around 9 a.m. on October 20th, residents alerted the police that a naked man was walking in the middle of the South Pattaya 2 intersection, also known as the Wat Chai Mongkol intersection. The location is a major traffic point in village number 10, Nong Pru subdistrict, Bang Lamong, Chonburi province. Within minutes, traffic police and patrol units from Pattaya City Police Station were dispatched to investigate. When officers arrived, they discovered a tall, light-skinned foreign man standing directly in the middle of the red light. He was completely unclothed and seemed unaware of his surroundings. So the article goes on, he was fine. They took him to the hospital. They didn't update on whether they drug tested him. I'm sure they did. Judging from the sounds of it, I would guess he was a bit on one. This happened maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago in Phuket as well, pretty much the exact same situation. So I'm interested to know what these guys are taking to get them on that level. Don't get me wrong. I used to be a full-time DJ. I have done my fair share of partying and I have gone real deep, and never did I think about, being butt naked in the middle of the road. If you're going to random places, taking random things, you're kind of asking for it. So guys, alcohol is plenty legal. You can pretty much drink anytime, any day. So I would just advise sticking to that. What have we learned today? Don't take random substances in random countries. Make sure you are vetting the people that you're dating and you're spending time with. If you see some tourists that are being absolutely gross towards girls, be a man about it. Do something about it. If you made it this far, thank you so much. If you'd like to see more from Thailand, those buttons are down below. We are grinding to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.